All right, ladies and gents. So you say we stop here. Okay. Let's try to do a kind of refreshment or to recapitulate on this, to recap it, right? Benefit of entrepreneurship. Right. We said entrepreneurs meet people's needs, right? So, like I explained to you, if there are no entrepreneurs to meet our needs, we all have needs in life, right? We've got our needs, our various needs, right? Entrepreneurs, they are there to provide goods and services to satisfy our needs. Because if they are not there, for you to be able or for us to be able to satisfy our needs, it's going to be very difficult. Right. For example, now, let me give you a typical example of medical care, right? You see, you must have heard on TV when they were talking about some Zimbabweans, they are crossing the border to come and receive medical care in South Africa. You heard about that. You see, it was a big problem, right? Why are they crossing or why were they crossing the border to come and receive medical care? Because perhaps maybe that thing was not there. You see, because in a situation whereby your wants to satisfy your needs are not there, it makes you for you to cross the border or to look for somewhere else to be able to satisfy your needs. Right. You know what we call wants. I was teaching transport and logistics students. We were discussing these three concepts. I want to broaden your brain now, right? We got needs, right? We got wants. We got demand, right? We all have our own needs, right? So, our various needs, for example, I'm here this morning working so that I can be able to earn income to pay for my needs, right? The same thing you are sitting here. Otherwise, you're supposed to be doing something else, right? You came here this morning to sit down to learn so that one day you may be able to have that paper, a certificate, to acquire the skills, the knowledge, the attitude. So one day you can be able to look for a job, be qualified to be employed, you get paid, then the money you use it to pay for your needs. Life is like that. Do you understand what I mean? So if your needs, okay, let me put it this way. Your needs are always expressed in a product or service. For example, if I'm hungry, it's a need, right? I need to eat something, right? Perhaps if I'm the one that is eating burger, of course I don't eat burger, right? Burger now will be my wants, which is a need expressed in eating burger. Right. Now, it doesn't stop there. When you have the money to buy, in a situation where that wants, which is a need expressed in a product, can be converted into a transaction whereby you have the money to pay, then we call it demand. Very interesting what I'm teaching, level 2, transport and logistics. Right. Okay, where I want to stop here in this context for your own case is that we all have our needs, right? Entrepreneurs, they strive to satisfy our needs, to provide products and services to meet our needs. In a situation whereby you got your money, but your wants are not there, your needs expressed in product, what you want to buy is not there. Let me put it this way. You get frustrated. Do you understand what I mean? Right. The entrepreneurs, they help in solving your frustration by providing for you. You see, they are very important. That is what we are talking about. So they said identify what people's need. Of course, that is what they do, the entrepreneurs, and exploit the opportunity. For example, when you look around at the moment, there is nowhere they are selling food, right? In the campus, I mean within. I'm not talking about outside. Last Friday, I didn't bring my food. I was hungry here. I was hungry. Nowhere to buy food, right? If there was a restaurant here, I could have easily go there to buy food to eat, right? Which means there my needs. I was hungry, looking for food. I couldn't satisfy my need. So what I'm trying to say is, what entrepreneurs does, they look at this type of opportunity. You know, it's an opportunity for you now. But I'm surprised why you are not exploiting the opportunity to make money. I used to have students those days. They were selling here in the campus. They were making money. You see, if you happen to be bringing food here, students will buy. Instead of them walking out, going out to buy food, they will buy from you. So you exploit the opportunity, take advantage of the opportunity and provide something. I remember those days, my student used to say chicken feet. You know, chicken feet, yeah. I used to buy from them. Ordinarily, I don't like chicken feet because it's sold by my student, my entrepreneur student. I must support. Right. I had to support. Were you here when my student was selling chicken feet? Oh, I don't know. You yeah, never saw chicken feet? I'm with that student. So where is the student? I know, maybe he's here close. Nambere. No, Ntampele. You know how to pronounce his name more than me now. Hey, you really grown, learned a lot of stuff. Man. Well, okay, you look for. Say the name. This so, year. The student here course in Ntampele. Okay, well done. Okay, guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? That was my student. Yeah? Well trained. Yeah, chicken feet. I was supporting my student buy chicken feet. And when I tasted it, I discovered that that thing was very delicious. Chicken feet. Very nice. I challenge you. Go and look for it to buy it. Huh? Aroman. Okay. So you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Another benefit of entrepreneur is autonomy. Autonomy. What do we mean by to be autonomous? To be on your own boss. Imagine how sweet it is for you to be your own boss. Nobody tells you what to do. Rather, you are the one telling people what to do. Ah, very sweet, man. Did you see? It's one of the benefits. Autonomous. You are your own boss. You take decision. Right? Yeah, your boss. Right? You own your own business. You are in charge. Nobody can bully you around. Right? You take decision. If you take a good decision, then you smile, you make money, profit. Then it comes to you. Nobody will use calculator to check your money. Hey, this or that. The more you're gonna work hard, you get plenty money. If you are working in a place, you got your salary. Even if you work hard, you make the business to make a lot of money. At the end of the day, they give you your salary. The best they can do for you is just to give you a small bonus. Do you understand? The directors, the owner of the business, they are smiling. They are sitting in the beach, swimming, enjoying themselves, but you are in the office working. Yeah, you making millions for them, right? But when you got your own business, There you got the advantage, the benefit of being your own boss. You determine your income, right? You determine your income. When things are good, you make money. Okay, then being directly rewarded for your effort. That is the best way to describe it. Your effort are directly rewarded, right? Okay, then you steer your own ship. Hey, you become a captain. You know, captain. Yeah, you steer your own ship. You are the one that is steering your business. It's your ship. If you steer it nicely, then you can be able to sail to a safe destination. If you don't steer it nicely, you steer your ship to a rocky ground. You know rocky ground. Your boat gonna crack, you gonna capsize. Or if you sail it in a stormy weather, you know, stormy sea, and you don't know how to maneuver, you sink. Yeah. Does it make sense to you? But let's talk about the good side of it. You steer it to a nice destination where you got gold and diamond. Then you reap the gold and diamond. You become rich. Like Elon Musk. I always like to give example of Elon Musk. If Elon Musk was working for somebody, there is no way you're gonna be so rich like that. That guy is close to be a trillionaire. Trillionaire. Huh? What? He's a billionaire, but not a trillionaire. Huh? But no, the worth now, based on estimate, what I read, is 800 or something, $845 billion. Right? Yeah, you can show me later. Oh, I'm talking about himself. Himself. When? Yeah, it's living where they are launching is this thing, where they are launching his spacecraft. That is where he's living. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Then you be a job creator rather than a job seeker. Hello, focus. Good news. Instead of you looking for a job, finally doing your CV, right? You're gonna be the one that's creating job for people. You're gonna be the one that is shortlisted. When somebody comes to you, look at that person, you can be able to work for you. Not you. You know, when you are going for an interview, you know the type of stress, tension that is involved. It's not easy. They're asking you questions. I remember the day I came to attend interview here, 2009. I borrowed money to pay my transport. To come, I was coming from Strand to attend an interview here. You know Strand? Even that time I didn't have socks. Even the pants I was wearing that time was, yeah. It was not a nice one because I was not working. But I hoped in God, I prayed to God, I say, give me this job, God. And really God gave me. Because the last day, listen how God works. The closing date of the advertisement, the last day, that was when I saw it. I saw it in the library in Strand. Then I said, God, I've got the faith already, the conviction that you're gonna give me this job. And I applied. They shortlisted me. I came to the interview and I was not able to talk nicely. The devil hold my throat. The devil held my throat. I couldn't talk nicely. When I went home, I said, God, I didn't do well. I've seen it already. I said, but God, this one is a deal between me and you. I made a deal with God. Say, if you give me this job, hey, me and you we're gonna be like this. Give me, I need this job. Eventually, what happened? I got the deal, right? So that is what I'm trying to say. You know, huh? Gordon, yeah, I used to go walk to that area, Gordon's Bar. Yeah, I used to go there. Yeah, someone said those were my areas those days. Okay, guys, you know what I'm trying to say. You provide means of income for people, right? Become a job creator rather than being a job seeker. Do you understand? That is why we are encouraging you guys, to do start business. Look, guys, hello, look beyond. Instead of you looking for a job, if you are able to create job, there are a lot of businesses you can do to make money. You just have to have that charisma, right? Confidence, as you may call it, or if you like, and set up something. Even if you are working, there's what we call side hustling. You hustle aside. Because if you depend only on salary, you're not gonna, things are difficult, things are very expensive. I was telling my wife yesterday, something of 1,000 now, those days, it was 100 rand, equivalent of 1,000, 100 rand those days. 1,000 is an equivalent of 100 rand those days. You get the picture of what I'm trying to say? 2005, 2006. What you are buying 1,000 now was 100 rand. 100 rand was a lot of money. Somebody gave me 20 rand, 2000, the year 2000. That 20 rand was a lot of stuff. Let me give you this story. I used to eat a whole day with 5 rand. 5 rand a whole day. And I would be satisfied. Ask me, 5 rand. Listen, I would buy half loaf of bread, right? Half loaf of bread was 1 rand, 40 cents. You see? Listen. A whole day. Because that have no, listen, I was not so glutonic. I was not eating too much. That half loaf of bread, then I will buy some slices of polony, 80 cents. Right? I still have money left. Then I will buy 500 more of milk. No milk. That was 2 rand 40 or 2 rand 50. You see, it's within that 5 rand. If I eat some slices of bread with polony, I eat some, I reserve some. Right? Are you here? Okay, good. Go and sit there. Right? So you see, with 5 rand, really, if I eat in the morning, in the afternoon, my stomach is still full. Right? Then whatever remains in the evening, then I take that. For a whole day, I'm all right. 5 rand. But can you feed yourself 5 rand to these days? Okay, those are the things we are talking about, right? A loaf of bread was 3 rand something. Okay, you are creative. Be creative. You solve business problem, identify market gaps and opportunity, right? You should be creative enough where people see problem, you see it as an opportunity. Like last time I told you, check out the time of COVID, right? I've explained that to you. People were scared to go out. But then what other people did? They exploited it. They explored it. They discovered create. They were very creative enough, right? Then you see the emergence of online business, right? Can I tell you something again? Yeah. Myself, let me tell you something. When I look at myself, actually, me, I'm somebody that is, I create creative as well, right? You see, man, you might say, no, why this teacher is boasting now? No. You know why I'm saying this? This online business, this delivery, I saw it long time ago. 2005, there was a guy that used to come to my internet cafe. This guy got a car, right? Was a security guy. I called that guy, I said, come here, my friend. Let me give you a business concept, a very nice business concept. You know observatory here, observatory. You know where the pick and pay is, close to uh, where the resident for the students, right? So that pick and pay was always busy. People used to come from Lower Main Road to buy things. They struggle to take their things home. I told that guy, I said, do this type of business. It's gonna work for you. Go and buy a T-shirt. Put on the T-shirt, Mr. Quick Delivery. Then you put at the back, Mr. Quick Delivery. You stand there. Then people gonna come to you. You tell them that if you want me to help you to deliver yourself, that is what Uber is doing now. There was no Uber then, 2005. I told this guy, I said, just stand there. Ask people that you can help them to deliver their goods home. If he had done that business, or let's say me, I've done that business, you know, I've become a millionaire, right? Quick delivery. I call it, I say, Mr. Quick Delivery. Put it on your t-shirt. You stand there. You're going to make money. Money that you are going to make is more than the salary they are paying you as a security. But the guy didn't take my advice. You see, those type of concepts, right? Okay. So you need to be creative to be, okay. Now, let's talk about reasons why some business fail. Reasons why some business fail. This is not a good news. But if you know about it, then you can be able to safeguard. You need, you will be able to safeguard yourself against failure, against your business failure. Does it make sense to you? Right. Then we're talking about poor or inadequate planning. Poor or inadequate planning. You cannot start a business without actually planning, without having planned thoroughly in terms of how you're going to run your business. You cannot just wake up from slumber, then you just start a business. You must plan it, right? There is a language that says, listen, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Do you understand that? If you fail to plan, it means you plan to fail. You must always plan ahead. Because when you are planning ahead, then you're gonna be able to see if there will be difficulties on the way. Then you prepare for it. It's like when you see a stone, if you see that I'm going to throw a stone to you, right? You're gonna be able to prepare to dodge that stone. But if I throw it all of a sudden, what is gonna happen? It's gonna hit you. It's gonna hit you. If you know I'm gonna hit you, what you do? You dodge. If you plan, then you will be able to see those problems beforehand. Then you make a way plan for it. It will not come as a shock. You know, something that comes as a shock is not good, right? You mustn't allow things to come to you as a shock. You must foresee it before it happens. Then you prepare for it. How will you be able to be in such position? It's when you plan. So poor planning can lead your business to a failure. Hello, who is this? Hey, you sleeping again? Okay, not foreseen problem before they arise. So when you don't plan, or if you got poor planning, or you plan poorly, let's put it that way. If you plan poorly, then you will not be able to see the problem before they come, right? So then poor cash flow. Cash flow is money that is coming in and out, right? If people are not buying from you, you're not gonna be able to receive money. Right. So you buy some stock, you bought stock, right? You put them in your shop. If people are not coming to buy, those stock gonna be there, right? That can make your business to fail. You're gonna ask, when people ask you, say there is no business, no market, they're not buying. You see, what it means is your business gonna be going down compared to when you bought your stock or as you put your stock before you know sold out. Buy again before you know sold out. You're gonna be making money. Your business is gonna be in good form. But if your products are not being sold, your business is heading to hit a rock, a big rock, right? It's dangerous. Then not enough research. It's the same thing. You didn't research about the product. For example, if it's a product you want to make, you didn't even research about the design. You didn't even know about the size of the market, right? Then also You didn't even know the extent of demand. Right. For example, you see here there is no restaurant, right? You decided to take the opportunity or to leverage, we call it leverage, to leverage the opportunity to start a business. Right. You haven't actually done your research to know what type of staff, right, wants or items, product or service that is required here. You just start making, let's say, manguia, right? You need to first of all know how many people want manguia. You must do your research, right? To inform you in terms of what to provide, right? How to provide it, and it as well help you to establish how much to sell it. Right. For example, if you start selling a product here, if the student cannot afford it, what is going to happen? You're not going to sell. Right. Those are the nuances that we are talking about. You need to make adequate research in terms of the size of the market and the extent of demand. Right. Otherwise, you produce and people will not buy. Or you provide too much, whereby there will be large supply. You know, supply. When supply is more than the demand, what is going to happen? The price is going to go down, and it's not good for the business. Or the demand, younger, the demand is higher than the supply. Although it will push the price up, but if you are not able to satisfy the higher demand, they're going to be dissatisfied. They will look for somewhere. Did you see? Yeah. So that is what we are talking about. Then impatience, right? Impatience. Some people they like to be billionaires overnight, right? Impatience, and that make people to invest in businesses that are very risky, right? If you invest in a business that are very risky, obviously there is that tendency that it's not going to sustain, right? So what we are trying to say is that I'm not advising you not to be ambitious, but you mustn't be too much ambitious. Ambitious, to be zealous, right? It's good to be zealous, or it's good to be a zealot, but no too much, no, not over zealous. You get the point what I'm saying? Be ambitious, right? Because if you are not ambitious, you will not have the drive for you to achieve, right? It's good to be ambitious, but not over ambitious, right? People, business owners, entrepreneurs that are over ambitious, they want to make money overnight, to be billionaires overnight. It's not good for a business person.